as I say, last couple of questions, if you don't mind, and we will try and move it on. Anything else about the World Cup before we leave it? Yeah, front row here, just to the top, please.
It better be a good one. This is the last one.
How important do you view systems in building teams? Like Italy in the last European Championships with the 5, but you're talking a lot about the quality in teams of like Gonzalo Higuain, Messi. But what do you believe is the best best way to build a good team? Is it the system? Is it the talent in the team?
That's it, you. Forget about it.
Okay.
I think...
No, Eamon will answer that because Eamon's a tactician. Away you go, Eamon.
I was in John's project as well. The really important thing in football is the quality of the players that you have at your disposal, and what system you use. And John said it before. It depends on those players and their strengths and weaknesses. So there's an awful lot of stuff in the papers and coming out of coaches' mouths and bums who are getting money from television companies to be pundits, and talking about 3 at the back, and they're talking about these things. You really need, I guarantee the team that wins the World Cup, it'll be won by a great scoring the winning goal, and that'll be made by a great player. So a system has to adapt to the players. If you try to adapt the players to a system that doesn't suit them, you're doomed. And that's been the problem with Trapattoni, Martin O'Neill, and even Jack Charlton. Jack had a system too, you know. So systems come way behind talent and guts and determination and character. The first thing you want when you're managing a team is a team of character that don't want to lose, that want to fight. And once you got that right, the system's no bother.
I think, just to add on that, I think the youth system, the academies, the way they are at the moment, I think they failed. If you look at the talent that's been given to these academies and you see 4, 5, 8 years later what's coming out of it, it's hardly anything. And I think to a certain extent these academies, and Liam, don't listen now, I think to a certain extent these academies coach the talent out of the kids.
Yep.
Yeah, the kids get too much. You know, you just heard 250,000 to 750,000. What are we talking, 16, 17 years old?
At 17.
17 years old. So £500,000. Now, how do you expect this kid to have the desire, to have the hunger, to make it into a Premier League player, maybe earn 3 contract for 4 or 5 years on £500,000? So he's guaranteed £1 million and a half with 17 years of age. Now, how do you expect him not to be affected by that amount of money? And it's not Arsenal's fault, it's not Liverpool's fault, it's the system. And you've got to create a situation where people just play and enjoy. Why doesn't under 10 of Manchester United play against Botafogo in Brazil? They should go to Salford and play against the kids where they kick the shit out of them. You know, they have the talent. That's a reason why they go to Manchester City, Liverpool and Manchester United. They've got the talent, but then you've got to find a way to keep the talent, improve the talent, find solutions themselves, and then give them 1 or 2 hints how they get better players to then hopefully make it into a Premier League player. If you go to the academies now, there's, I reckon, 1 in 1,000 or 5 in 1,000 who make a living out of football. Never mind playing in the Premier League, because they bring the players in from South America, from Africa, from everywhere. And I'm a big believer that the later kids go to an academy, the more chance they've got to succeed, because they get spoiled.
That wasn't a question, by the way.
It was. It was.
And on that note...
I don't think so. I don't think it was actually, Didi. What the lads were saying is... They were talking about
there's not.
The system, right? The system, as Eamon said, is what players do you have at your disposal? If you've got 2 great wingers, you play the 2 great wingers. The system doesn't make success, right? It could be 3 at the back because you've got 3 really great central defenders that you don't want to leave any of them out of the team.
So the system revolves around the players you have at your disposal.
Exactly. What have you got at your disposal?
Oh, it wasn't a question then.
Right? That's the question you were asking.
John,
not the system. What have you got at your disposal? What group of players have you got? You've got 3 great central defenders. Well, you're going to play them with the 2 wing backs. It's not the system that makes the success. It's the players
Keep going.
that you make fit the system.
Just
rather
a
than the
final
other way
point on that, and it's a World Cup thing. In 1966, Alf Ramsey was slaughtered because he didn't play with wingers. He invented 4-3-3. And the reason he didn't use wingers, and I was one of the people who was slaughtering him, by the way. I was like playing for Millwall, but I was still a fan. The reason he didn't play wingers was England didn't have any wingers who were good enough. So he adapted. He said, OK, we'll go another way. And he got Alan Ball playing out there, who was very good, Jeff Hurst, and he built a team based on take the flak, and he got plenty of it, and then he won the World Cup. And in football, it's not too dissimilar in terms of character to any job anyone in this room is doing. You get a dodgy plumber, or a dodgy bricklayer, or a dodgy developer, or a dodgy politician, they're going to do you. And it's the same thing that's missing: character, determination, and honesty. And that applies right across the board, and it's a huge factor in football today. And over the next month, you're going to see guys bottle it. You'll see guys win matches on their own. You'll see teams exceeding the ability that they intrinsically have because they want it. And then really, that's what makes football so brilliant. It's a little parable about life in a way. And anyone can identify with it and engage with it. If you're playing a junior team, a schoolboy team, a League of Ireland team, you know what's going on. And you know what's not going on. And you want to be with the guys who want to play. You want to be with the guys who want to fight. And you want to be with the guys whose heads don't go down when things get hard. And that's...
Well, that's a great answer, I think.